What's going on, people? What's happening today, man? What's going on? I better turn it back this way. What's happening? What's going on? Yeah, man. It's nice. It ain't as hot. It ain't hot at all no more. It's like it's kind of getting. It's cool. The heat is like it's not into play right now. You know what I'm saying? But I got something very serious that I want to talk about. Y'all already know what time it is. I ain't got to even probably say the title, but I'm gonna say it anyway. It's selling yourself cheap to your slave master. I know elderly people, you know. Now, this elderly woman normally send her son to the store, right? Now, I'm gonna say that they all know that how it is in living in a white supremacist Esau society, right? Y'all already know what I'm going. When I say Esau, whatever, y'all already know where I'm taking this. And I'm like, why would they force an individual person whose eyes are open, who is who knows what's going on? He may not be the smartest person in the world, but he do know and understand that you have the people in a grocery store called Albertsons. All they do is walk around there and just harass us, our people, so-called black people, right? So I understand you have to do what you have to do, and people tell you to ignore things, right? They say ignore it, right? Ain't that something we've been doing for over 500 years of oppression? Do we do that? We do that on a daily basis. It's just sometimes you can just. Have you ever had that saying say sometimes enough is just enough sometimes? And what I mean by that is I don't. Uh, if I'm in a situation to where I gotta like go in a store and I don't own that store and it's owned by the enemy, I'm gonna do everything I can and jump every gutter and gun, and that store will be the last store that I will ever go in. Which I hope and pray that I don't have, although we do have to go to our enemies for everything. But when people say, well, I'll just ignore them, you know, that's what they'll say. They'll say, I'll ignore them. Isn't that what we've been doing for the last 500 decades? That ain't nothing new. It's just that just because you make a decision that you don't want to go into a certain building or location to where they are more racist in the most racist targeted place ever, that doesn't make you weak. It just symbolizes that you ain't no damn fool. That's all it means. And it shows anytime you say, well, I just ignore them. I don't do this and I don't do. Of course we do. That don't mean we just ignore them in different ways. I mean, we all God's the Most High speaks to us in different ways. Like, I'm not gonna say, well, well, sometimes you gotta. It is what it is, and my own people is enough problems. You know what I'm saying? So that's enough within itself. But to go and deal with your oppressor is even a double. It's like an extra plus. So Now, if I ain't got no other choice, you know what I'm saying? If I ain't got no other choice but to go and go into the store, or if that lady's son have no other choice but to go into a store, then by all means, sometimes you have to do what you have to do, because sometimes he said we have to go to our enemies and warn them of all things, right? So, but what gets me is when it's like the elder lady know that her son don't want to get involved in that. You see what I'm saying? And it's like, why would they still bring up? Why would they still bring up the person wanting to go in the store? You see what I'm saying? Why would they still? Why would they want to enhance that or whatever? You see what I'm saying? You feel what I'm saying? Um, it's more like, well, when they say, well, you just got to you just got to ignore them, and you got to do this and you got to do that. The way it seemed like the way they're coming off like, well, just be a slave. You know you need what? You know you need this. You know you need that. You know you need this. You know you need that. Blah blah blah. Whatever. Get over it. Don't work. Just be a slave. That's basically what you're saying. That's basically what you're saying. If you want to say anything, and I'm just thinking in my mind, like, it's like they don't give a damn about. It's like saying, I don't care how you feel, just be a slave. Like I'm being a slave. When you talk about Esau, ain't too many people gonna want to hear you talk about Esau. It ain't too many people don't want to hear you talk about Esau, the enemy. And it's like, well, what our people looking at, they looking at the fact like, well, it ain't nothing new. You just got to learn how to. The best way to do it is don't. You know what I mean? That's the way a lot of our thinking is. You know what I'm saying? And they not actually trying to feel the individual's pain. But I feel the individual pain. You know what I mean? Uh, the thing about it is, if a person can avoid, all right, how you doing? All right. If a person can avoid from talking to uh going in a way to the enemy like that, and they don't want to like deal with it or whatever, then the they need, what the problem is, that they why should they should be able to identify with him and say, look, son, I really identify with you, and I'm feeling you because I know how it is. uh we all living in this slavery, and I feel you. You see what I'm saying? I know, I hope and pray. They don't even say things like, I hope and pray that you don't have to go into this store. I know that this, that's what the elder woman should consider. Like, well, I know that I hope and pray that you don't have to go into these stores just because I may be strong in that. I mean, not strong, not necessarily say that. Just because I'm uncomfortable with, I'm comfortable with going in there and I just ignore them. That doesn't mean that I got to put you in that same position. You see what I'm saying? That don't mean that I got to put you in that same position. You see what I'm saying? Y'all, there was a situation to where I was looking for some work, and a while back, y'all remember that, right? And they had this individual, Like they put me on the pedestal. I mean, they put me in a position to where like they copped out. And so what I wanted to do was just like be honest, you know. It's just riding up on me. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. You know, don't put me on the spot. Don't put they not even in the car. It's somebody else in the car. But anyway, I ain't got to talk about it now. But I was gonna finish talking about it. But it's no sense to me. I'll save it for another video. But um, yeah. So just because that person don't want to go in there, that doesn't necessarily mean that they got to do what you do because maybe it might be for you is to go. Maybe it might be for you to go, but it may not be for your son to go. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm just now they may not like it if they run across a video. Who knows? I don't know if they run across a video, but I'm gonna speak the truth. Why would you want? You should want to stand for righteousness along with your with your son, man. You know. I mean, you already know how you are being oppressed over here in this country, just like the rest of us. You already understand that. I'm pretty sure you've been around here long enough. You've been on the planet a little longer. So you should have more experience and wisdom to understand. And it just makes it seem like you're not really like, I mean, no, trying to be literary or nothing, to pound you in the dirt and that. But it's like you're sticking your son out there by himself. Now, you may watch the video and you probably might be like, well, he misunderstanding me. No, it's just that uh I'm just saying the right way is just do what you need to do because if they see you allowing it to sit there and get to you, then they're going to mess with you more. So I just ignore them and this and that and the third. Just because a person don't want to go or I'm not comfortable being in a position that they don't want to be in due to the fact of racism and stuff, that doesn't make them not ignore it. It comes to you. You know, when you walk out your door, you're on the enemy's territory. You are no longer, um, you know what I'm saying? You are no longer that person or whatever. You know what I mean? You're no longer like the only protection you have is what I'm trying to say is God, the Most High, the God of Israel. That's it. That's it. And you know, it's crazy, man. It's just crazy out here. You know. And so I don't blame him. I wouldn't want to be in that situation either. If something is bothering me, then I'm gonna let my family know. Look, uh, I understand. Maybe you, that's where you at in your life. Maybe you can say you're ignoring. But for me, I'm not gonna put myself in that position, and it doesn't mean I'm a cop out. It's to be going into a store where I'm not really wanted, although it's everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Hold on, I might have to mute this thing. You know what I'm saying? We already, I mean, it's everywhere in every store, but just some store they just more just worse at it. You know what I'm saying? Albertsons in Louisiana is the worst racist, hateful store that any so-called black, Hispanic, and Native American person would ever go in. I believe if birds accidentally flew in that store, I believe they'll feel a bad vibe from Esau and they'll fly up out of there themselves. They may not be able to come out and talk to you the way like, but them animals will be saying to themselves, "Damn, let me get up out of the way out of these racist people." Even the animals don't even want to even be bothered with them. The animals on the planet would rather be bothered with us than them. Esau. It's sad to say that the animals would rather be bothered with us than them. I done seen it happen. I was walking one day, although I'm not a really a big fan of animals or dogs like that. I'm just not. I used to kind of like them in their place, you know what I'm saying? When I was younger, I had about four of them or whatever, five of them or whatever. And the dog wanted to follow me. And I looked at him and I said, "Get back." I was walking and I saw him. I said, "Get on." Like he wanted to follow me literally. Even the animals waking up and realizing how unrighteous Esau is. Even the animals know that. Even the animals waking up to a degree and waking up and saying, "Damn." They may not come out and talk, like I said, like we can, but the animals like, "Damn, I don't think I even want to go in this motherfucker." You know, you find the animals, even though they can't talk to Esau, they don't want to be bothered. They scared of him and running from him because they know they ain't doing nothing but polluting the earth. Even the animals know that Esau is polluting the earth with everything. Now, if the animals know, now you know Esau is in a Esau is the enemy. He is the devil. You know it. You know Esau is wicked. If the animals telling you in their own way, the birds, the blackbird, every bird that you can think of, they know something wrong. They may not can come out and talk the way that we're talking. They might can even look at the water and say, "Damn, we like they can't talk, they can't do none of that." But when they even drink the water, they might can tell something wrong with the water. Like, "Damn, this water's messed up," and these people are the one doing it. They probably said or think about it in an animal's way, instinct way. You know what I mean? In their own way, they communicate with each other. Like, damn, and they probably in their own way look at them. I'm comfortable with them, and the animals may not even know why they're comfortable with you. Like, at least if I could go to them, it's something about what they giving me, water and food. It's gonna be more purified than what these than Esau giving me. You know what I'm saying? And that's how it is. You know what I'm saying? I'm just using it as an illustration. I know it sounds kind of crazy the way I'm saying it, but really, the Most High created everything, right? He created the animals, the birds. He created everything. Even the animals got sense enough is to know something ain't right with this man. Like, oh damn, I don't even want to even be outside in a cage with these people. The animals, if they can smell the food and know who it came from, what nation of people it come from, they'll probably smell it and run. Probably just get out of the way, because they know it's something about this man ain't right. So that's what I'm saying about the situation with how that my brother feel, or how that brother feel, man. I'm gonna say it like that about his mother. Not, and this is no put down. She's a woman of the Most High. She's an Israelite woman. You know what I'm saying. She went out. She raised her children. She did a good. She went out her way and did raise them to the best of her ability, and godly person, because it's in the elderly woman is to be godly. But sometimes our mind can get distracted by the brainwashing of the system that is in America here, and it causes us is to have a mind to where we want to submit to the ruler, the people who are more in power, to submit to their rulership and their authorities in their way, and we find ourselves compromising the truth instead of looking at the truth as important, or something like that. Like if I say feast days or something like that, the feast days of the Most High God, that's sacredness of the days of God. But the enemy of this world has trained them is to go after the holidays of man versus the holidays, the holy day versus the holy days of God. See, there's a difference between the holiday of man. The holidays is man-made. Holy days, biblically, so to speaking, according to the Bible, comes from God, from the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That's God of Yah, you know. And the enemy got us trained and programmed like, well, you just go in there, and it's no different from how they have the mindset of the way the ancestors were back then when they had to submit no matter what this slave master was doing. Like they, a lot of our women willingly programmed themselves is to sleep with the slave owners. And it got to a point to where it was so regular doing slavery until it was naturally for if the so-called if Esau made a suggestion for them is to sleep the with the slave master. It was natural and it was normal. They didn't even have to even come out and say what they wanted. Our the 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 Israelite woman just naturally came out and just offered themselves up, if you know what I mean by that. Offered themselves, their bodies as a sacrifice doing slavery like that. You see what I'm saying? And this is similar today in 2023, which is modern day, I'm comparing that situation with the elderly woman, the 70-year-old elderly woman wanting her son, asking her son is to go into a grocery store where it's very racist at. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just saying like that, I mean, and I feel the brother, I feel the brother, I feel him in that way. Um, it's like you one thing about a so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native American man, the enemy is going to always go the opposite. He's not going to go to that man. He's not going to be able to go to the man because the man is not going to be submissive to the bullshit. If that would be a way, I'll just say it like that. When it comes to his son, the son may go to the mother. If you look at Rebecca and Jacob, right? Esau, they couldn't go to Rebecca couldn't go to Isaac, and Jacob and Rebecca plotted to try to lie and say, "I'm gonna put this skin of this skin on you, to where you can trick your father or whatever." You see what I'm saying? And the Bible said the mother made savory meat and dressed it and told her son is to go take it um, to your father Isaac. So he did it, right? He did it, and I think his father said, "Feed me, I pray thee, with that same red pottage, for I'm fainted." So it really was Jacob. He said, "Your voice is as the voice of Jacob, but your hands are the hands of Esau." He said, "Your voice is the voice of Jacob, but your hands are the hands of Esau. I filled you," because his father was blind, right? And so the point is, the mother, Rebecca, and Jacob plotted to do this. Have you noticed that if you look at that line of story, that the enemy always goes through the woman, right? But they never go to the man which was Isaac, which is the Israelite. He's the father of the Hebrew of the Israelite nation. That's the modern day nation today. One thing about the enemy, he gonna always go to the weaker vessel, and that's the woman. That's what the Bible says, right? So I'm comparing that situation with how to this the elderly woman, which is no disrespect to her, and with her son. Her son don't want to go in. Her son is a very he ain't no fool. You know what I'm saying? I said it like that. He ain't no fool. He ain't nowhere he ain't nowhere near dumb. I'm gonna put it like that. And he don't want to go because you see the man gonna always stand up, and he gonna always can for the most part, the man gonna always be able to stand up and say, you know what, this is bullshit. I'm not getting myself into this trick because I can see that. You see what I'm saying? But the serpent, the sneaky, cunning serpent, will always try to go to the woman. Just like when you see the Israelite brothers be out there on the streets teaching and things of that nature. I noticed that out there on the streets from IUIC, they be teaching the word of the Most High, and they come up there and try to finesse the brothers. They come up, and I'm comparing. I'm not trying to get off topic. They come up there. The, the Israelite sisters, bless them, bless their heart. They don't know what they're doing. They come up and try to finesse the Israelite brothers who be up there teaching and trying to teach the people their nationality, right? And Esau, sometimes Esau be already standing up there, or either Esau or just walk up. And Esau purposely do it. They do this on purpose. They walk up and they'll see, say, we're gonna see what they're talking about. Now, we know we can't get to to them Israelite men. We're gonna say the woman, oh, she's talking up for us. As her slave master, she got the same mind as her as what her forefathers were slaves, and they were submissive to the slave master. So I'm gonna go along with the woman, and I'm gonna come up as the serpent and take away the word that was sown in the sister's heart that the brothers is trying to sow into the woman. You see what I'm saying? And Esau come up there some kind of way and persuade the the so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native American woman is to go on their side. And for the most part, if you pay attention, they fall. Our sisters, most of them, on average, I'm gonna say most of them on average, will fall for it. Just like Ahab in the Bible was weak when he wasn't. He refused is to stand up and tell Jezebel, his wife. You see what I'm saying? Hey, we can't be doing all this wicked stuff. We gotta. This is not right. He didn't do that. He done whatever Jezebel was into. You can read about this in 1 Kings 9, 10, 11, and 12. And you can read somewhere between 9 and 10. You'll see where God says Jezebel was going to get the judgment of God. So I'm saying all of this is to say, if you tie that into the day's world, a lot of our people is following the lead of our sisters, and it was designed for the Israelite man is to help put the society back in the order and where it should be. You see what I'm saying? Keeping the commandments, not a brother that's not going to follow and keep the commandments. The the sisters of Zion, the daughters of Zion, should be following the man as the man following in the lead of the Most High and keeping the commandments. You see what I'm saying? And a lot of people get that confused. Well, I don't want no man ruling. The man, when they say man rule over you, that's not talk. They thinking about it in a sense, is the man controlling the woman and all of that. No, it just goes back to saying Christ is the head, and you'll find that in Second Corinthians, I believe. The head of every man is Christ, and the head of Christ is God, and the head of the woman is the man, and all that. You see what I'm saying? No, it's just saying like we have a head, right? And our head is Christ, right? And the woman's head is the man, and the head of Christ is God. You see what I'm saying? So it's not talking about taking the woman and controlling the person in an unrighteous way, but it's talking about being a leader in a righteous way. When it's talking about the man being a leader. It's talking about him being a leader in righteousness. That's all it's saying. Lead in righteousness. Telling the sister is to put on some clothes, stuff like that. Telling the sister, look, you are a royal prince. You're a royal. Don't come out here like this. You see what I'm saying? Don't come out here like this. You're more than this. You're better than this here. You see what I'm saying? You're better than the other nations. You're a royal. You're bought with a price. You are a daughter of Zion. You shouldn't be dressing like this here. Stuff like that. That's what it's saying. Don't get out here and and carry yourself like this because you are a princess. Stuff like that. You know what I mean? That that we as brothers supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. It's not talking about, oh, you get with a woman, oh, you my property now, and I'm gonna tell you. No, it ain't talking about that, bro. This is never designed. We're not saying take, and because a lot of our the daughters of Zion get that mixed up. They thinking that we're using it to try to say, oh, you're gonna be controlling and you're controlling and all that. I think that's a sister there. But anyway, or something like that. And they look at it and they looking at it from a corner point of view, and they say, oh, I ain't letting no man rule over me and this and that. No, it's not they ruling. It's just that they're protecting you. They're protectors. Like a man, the natural instinct of a man is to be able to protect his family. You see what I'm saying? It's to protect. He's supposed to like serve and protect in a righteous way, not in a wicked way now. You know what I'm saying? Make sure the family's all right. Make sure that it's like they're like protectors, like somebody that guards and make sure the family is safe, the children is safe, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Being a leader in that way, stuff like that. Um, Making sure that she is getting the right spiritual nourishment that she needs is for her to be a strong daughter of Zion, according to the Most High God. Stuff like that. Feeding the person the commandments, telling them that, encouraging the sister, look, we should keep the commandments. This is what you should be doing. The Most High said, this is a dress code for the women, and here's a dress code for the men. Stuff like that. Like going into the store or something like that. All right, Migo. Or like going into the store. I mean, like telling them, look, this is what you should be doing. Like, okay, if you see a sign, you got, if you go to the restroom or something, like this. This is what I mean. You're telling the daughters of Zion, I'm a man, so that sign if they have a dress up on it, so that restroom wouldn't be for me as a male. That would be for you because it's got the sign of a dress on it, and that's a sign that the daughters of Zion go into the female restroom or something like that. You know what I'm saying? And the other sign has the sign of pants, and that's the sign of a man having, like you're gonna see the sign of the image of pants that he got on. So that's a dress code for a man, right? That's what I mean by the man being the ruler. When they say ruler, that's what it's talking about. Because there are certain roles that a man has. A man has a role just like a woman has a role, right? You know, she has a certain role, a different type of role from the man or whatever. And it's just called order. That's all it is. It's just called order. If you look at, I think that's First Corinthians chapter 4, I think it's 12, no, 13, 14, verse 40. It says that. let all things be done. The Apostle Paul said that, let all things be done decently and in order. So I'm saying that to say this here. When a man sees something that is not right and feel like you're going to go off and you're worshiping your slave master by going into these places and like, no, you ain't got to accept, you ain't got to bow yourself down and go to, in spite of the way this man is mistreating you, you don't need to be sitting up there just accepting something and selling yourself cheap unless you can't go nowhere else or into no other store or something like that. Then I would have to like uh, put my pride aside and say, Lord, I did not want to go up in here, which or whatever, but I have no other choice because everything else is shut down and this is an emergency that I'm in here. So that's the only reason why I'm in here. So that's what I'm talking about. So do everything you can to avoid it. But the woman, the elderly woman, it's like when she bring up certain things, it's like she's actually saying, well, you ignore them and blah, 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 this and that and third. Just say, I ignore them. And that's like trying to persuade a person is to accept less, sell themselves cheap. And her son don't want to sell himself short because you're royal, you're a king, you're better than that. You don't, the kings don't have to all the time bow to something that they don't have to bow to. You see what I'm saying? That's what it is. That's what I'm trying to say. Oh, I did over 30 minutes. I didn't know that. So the king don't have to just sit up and just bow down to nobody. But if anything, if anything, they should be bowing to us, right? If anything, they should be bowing to us, not us bowing to them. Because it's gonna come a time where everything is gonna be reversed. You see what I'm saying? So on that note, that's what I say. It's like our people selling yourself cheap to your slave master. That's the title of the video. Selling yourself cheap to your slave master, and that's what our people do. It's no different from when all right, like if a woman say, well, I just ignore him. And you have some brothers are saying that too. I just ignore him and just go in there and just buy me. Well, I just ignore him, which it's a good thing. I'm not saying it's wrong or whatever, but look at it more on a wiser uh, a wiser a wiser circumspect level, I should say, and look at it like, okay, that ain't no different from the slave, the slave giving in to the slave master, the woman giving in and willingly saying, okay, let me just willingly give it up to my slave master, because if I don't, the slave master gonna either harm me, he gonna kill me, he gonna do all these things to me. So let me just peacefully just give it up. So it's not the same thing, I would say, but it's similar. It's symbolic to the same thing that our women's are more is submissive today. You see what I'm saying? It is it is it is it's kind of related to that point. When you hear them say that, well, I just ignore them, I just go in there and buy what I'm gonna buy. But it's similar to us. We know we are in these conditions, and we turn around and just say, well, you know, just accept the fact that just be the slave. You know you need this hand, you know you need that. Just be the slave. Be a slave and go in there and say, yes, sir, Mr. Charlie. That's basically what they're doing. Well, I just ignore it. That's like saying, okay, I'm gonna go, yes, sir, Mr. Charlie, go ahead and watch me. I ain't worried about it. You know? Now, I'm not saying that what they are saying is wrong by telling me to ignore it. I'm just saying when you constantly just ignore, just initiate it, and constantly tell that person that you always talk about going, or you want to go into this store, or you constantly telling the young brother, well, I just ignore him, and you've been telling them this for about 3 years. It's gonna make me feel like, well, really, you are conditioned You condition yourself is to be the slave to your own people. You know, you are conditioning yourself is to be a slave to this person. You know what I'm saying? So it makes me think that okay, when you keep saying that, you've been trying to persuade your child for 3 years or whatever over something that he don't want to do or whatever. That's like saying, okay, just chose to be a slave because you keep bringing it up, and it shows that you are submissive to them, and you're willing to you're giving in to basically to the treatment that what they're giving you. You're accepting the treatment that you're getting from these people, and you're okay with that, and you're trying to tell basically what she's trying to tell her child. It's okay to allow them. It's okay to let them. It's to be a slave over you. It's okay to let them rule over you as a slave. You are the slave and they are the master. There's nothing wrong with that. Just go ahead on. Because we've been over here. We was born and raised in this here. It's nothing new to you. Just go home and just go ahead and be willing to accept and bow down to your slave master. It's all what I'm trying to tell you. That's basically, they may not be coming out and telling you direct and saying, they'll come out and they'll try to manipulate the situation in another way. That is, in so many words, they're actually telling you, be submissive to your slave master, son. Because I really need my such and such. Or I really need my soda. Or I really need my wood. Or I really need this. So just go ahead on and sacrifice yourself and be a stupid slave. That's basically what you're saying. Yeah, that's basically what you're saying. And a lot of our people, I'm not putting down on nobody or nothing like that, have that mindset, have a mindset like that. A lot of our people do have a mindset like that. And when they see something like that happen, it's perfect, per, it's perfectly normal for them to do that. You know what I'm saying? It is perfectly normal. You know? Just like if you walk up to a sister and tell her, hey, you's an Israelite, so and so, or you tell a brother, like, they gonna look at you like, I know that. All right, you have a good, they just gonna, they what they gonna do is they gonna keep walking. That's what they gonna do. Yeah, that's exactly what they gonna do. They just gonna keep walking. You know what I'm saying? Or they gonna look at you stupid, or make you feel like you done something terribly wrong, or something like that. Or they just gonna say, well, the way I see it, uh, I feel like me. I feel like I don't care who you are. You be a Gentile, you can be a Jew, or whatever it is. I think he accepts anybody who honestly humbles their heart and they're sincerely about it, and or whatever. That's how I feel. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, that's on them. They got to deal with that with God themselves. I just show that love, show God's love to them no matter what. This is how they feel. A lot of our people conditioned to feel about the other nations or the Gentiles or whatever. You know what I'm saying? That's exactly how they feel. That's what they do. And this is how the enemy, this is how it plays out, basically. That's what it all boils down to from the beginning of this video that I was speaking about. You know? Yeah, that's how, yeah. So I'm trying to think and see if there's anything else that I can put in this video. Because, yeah, but anyway, going back to the elderly woman, the 70-year-old elderly woman and her son, you know what I'm saying? It's like they don't care nothing to me, and I'm not saying it to be rude. It's like they don't even care nothing about. It's like they don't care nothing about us. She don't care nothing about her son's feelings or whatever. You know what I'm saying? She don't care about her son's feelings. She just looking at the fact. I mean, you understand that that the person is in need of certain thing because of the illness that they have. But at the same time, you do have to be wise. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like, to me, in my strongest, honest opinion, I mean, I'm just saying it like that, just humbling myself. Uh, to me, a son is just kind of pretty wise. You know what I'm saying? He's just pretty wise about things, you know? And I don't think just because, I think it's messed up on totally so many different levels or whatever, you know, for somebody just because they feel that they want to easily be a slave to the same people who rape, rob, murder, and kill you, is to push that same stuff on your son when he is already in the light or whatever, and you're pushing darkness on a person who is already in the light. That's not right. That's not good at all. It's just totally disrespectful on so many different levels. You know what I'm saying? So just, I think she should like understand her son. You know, that's what You know what I'm saying? Of course, she gon' now. Don't get me wrong. She may have some respect and regard for him, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But it's not like, in their mind, they like, I still wish he would just go head on and just get the water, because it's just water. You know, you ain't got to be that. You know what I'm saying? All you have to do is just be one simple thing, do one simple thing, just ignore him. And because it's going to keep you from, if you feel that way, you're not going to be able to deal with life, because you're going to run into all kinds of different things. And these are the ways that they're going, these are the ways and the things that they're going to come out and they're going to say, just to manipulate how you actually get you off that path. And just, okay, well, okay, I thought about what she said. Yeah, I'm gonna go up in here, and and to me, that ain't good. If they're in a wise position when it just depends on what the situation are. Now, if you tell a person like, look, I need me some a jug of water. I know you don't like going around certain people, but they just want you to come get the water for me. I need it in my house or something like that. Now that's different. That's a total different situation from trying to persuade your siblings is to go into a store where it's very over racist or racist situation, knowing that that person don't want to be in that type of situation, and knowing you're dealing with the most evilest, demonic, racist people on the face of the earth. Hold on, I don't know where that come from. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I had to kind of like push that back down or whatever, you know. So hopefully this video is pretty good. Hopefully people can get something out of it. Uh, I might want to try to see if I can just add some reading with it or something. Let me see if I can just add some. Hold on, let me go up here until I can get in an area to where maybe I can add something that will be powerful with it, like what I was talking about you know, like feast days versus holy days of God versus the holidays, which is secular of man. The holidays would be the secular doctrines of man and commandments of men, versus the holy days would be the commandments of God. Just like in the Bible says, render therefore the things that be of Caesar unto Caesar, and the things that be of God, the things of God. The things of Caesar, which would be Esau, would be the holidays, which is man-made. All right, all right, Migo. All right, Migo. Yeah, yeah. Those are the Mexican Issachar brothers, you know. I went over there one day, probably about a couple of months, probably about 2 months ago, probably almost 3 months ago, and I tried talking to them, and they couldn't understand everything that I was saying. So I felt kind of awkward a little bit, you know, because they not going to understand everything because they was conquered by the Portuguese and things, the Spaniards and stuff like that, you know. So they not going to, uh, understand us, you know, because we we don't have our original language. Yes, indeed. But I wanna. This video gonna end up probably being an hour. So that means I've been out here an hour walking. Then, yeah, I've been out here about an hour walking. Let me stop this thing here and give y'all a prime example. I do have my Babylon Temple too, and I'm going to quote just find. I want to find something real good and read it. Where did Easter come from? Does the following sound familiar? Spring is in the air. The flowers and bunnies and decorated the homes. Further helps the children print. Further helps the children paint beautiful designs on egg dyeing in various colors. See all them egg dyes and all that. That's come from the traditions of Esau. These eggs, which will later be hidden in search for, are placed into lovely sense seasonal sensational. I mean, seasonal seasonal baskets. The wonderful arm of the hot cross. Bunny's mother is baking in the oven, wrapped wrapped through the with the wrapped through the house. Okay, hold on. 40 days of abstaining from special foods will finally end the next day. The whole family picks out their Sunday best to wear to the next morning. The next morning, hold on, the next morning sunrise services to celebrate the Savior's resurrection and the renewal of life. Everyone looks forward to a su, a su, a sus, a su, success, Selenic unit. Sus, yeah, I think that's what it is a salad ham with all the trimmings. It will be a thrilling day after all. It is one of the most important religious holidays of the year. Easter's right? No. This is a description of an ancient Babylonian family two 2,000 years before Christ's resurrection. The resurrection of their god, Tammuz, who was brought back from the underworld by his mother's wife, Esther, after whom the festival was named, as Esther was actually pronounced Easter, Easter in the most Semitic dialects. In the most Semitic dialects, it could be said that the event portrayed here is in a sense Easter. Of course, the occasion could easily have been the family honoring. Atalians and are perhaps a Phoenician family worshiping idols. Okay, so what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna stop it right there because I don't want to mess up nothing. You know what I'm saying? I want to be able to get it all right or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But Esther and Easter, the name Esther, that's where the name Easter comes from. You know what I mean? The gods of fertility, the bunny rabbits, and all of that started to originate with the resurrection of Christ being risen from the grave. And a lot of people feel like everything was changed under the old covenant, and now therefore we under the new covenant, and they don't even understand what the new covenant, what that means. You see what I'm saying? The new covenant means the everything that was in the old in the Torah, which is the laws of the first five books of the Bible. They didn't fully understand them even when they was in slavery. So once Israel was redeemed and they remembered themselves in their captivity of who they were, then when they started to wake up and realize who they are, then that's when everything is like it's a new beginning. But they thinking in terms of um, the laws of was physically annihilated. You see what I'm saying? That's what they thinking in their mind. They feel like the laws were physically abolished, annihilated, and all that type of stuff. And our people no longer had to observe it no more because Christ came and he said they said he came to make a new covenant. But what they don't understand is that he came to make who was the new covenant for. You go right there in Hebrews 10 and verses 16 through 17. I mean 16. It tells you who the new covenant is for. Hebrews chapter 8 and verse 16, I believe it is, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, somewhere around in there. It tells you that the new covenant, he said he was going to make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah. You see what I'm saying? Because you have to remember there was the northern kingdom, which was Ephraim. It was a split between South during the time of Jeroboam and the southern kingdom and the northern. And that's when the nation, God prophesied that the nation would be scattered around the world. And therefore, our people had to serve the other nations because the people in Rehoboam and Jeroboam, Jeroboam set up and established, okay, hold on. Okay, I hate to do that because the music is down there. Jeroboam, if you look at 1 Kings 13, First Kings chapter 9, First Kings chapter 10. If you look right in those chapters, you'll see where Ahab, y'all know I mentioned something about Ahab earlier, probably about a couple of minutes ago. Ahab was following was following in the footsteps of the woman Jezebel. And God said that he was going to bring judgment upon him because there was all kinds of stuff going on with witchcraft and all that stuff was being fornication, and it was all kinds of anything you can think of under the sun, all the abominations of the heathens that Israel stopped following the customs of our customs and started following the customs of the heathens around them, like the Zidonians and the Moabites and the Ammonons and all those different women from all them other tribes who was and all the women that was not of Israel. You see what I'm saying? They was out there sold themselves to the other nations. You see what I'm saying? They sold themselves to the other nations and started committing all kinds of stuff. They were doing the same thing that the heathens were doing, and that's why a lot of our people in the Bible was called Gentiles. That's why you have Jews, Israelites, is calling themselves Gentiles. All right, what's going on? They was calling themselves Gentiles in the Bible, right? And because you have to understand the word Gentile is mentioned two times in the Bible, the two different types of Gentiles. The Israelites who was in a Gentile state of mind. Their mindset was, you know what I'm saying, believing that you was something other than what God called you and stuff like that. Uh, they was calling themselves outside of all of them, everything except what God had told us that we were from the beginning. You see what I'm saying? Everything. And so our people start practicing the customs of the heathens, and we learned the ways of the heathens, and we started following after the ways and their customs. You see what I'm saying? Matter of fact, let's see if I can read something about that in the Apocrypha. Hold on, let's see here. I don't, hold on. I was speaking to somebody in their car. All right, what's up, man? Let's look at I don't know. Let's see here. I'm gonna find something. But see, all right, this may not be all what I want, but I'm gonna read it. It says in Ecclesiastes chapter 6 and verse 7, if thou wouldest get a friend, prove him first, and be not hasted to credit him. Let's go down to verse 13. Separate thyself from thy enemies and take heed of thy friends. It's kind of similar to what I'm talking about. Ecclesiastes chapter 6 and verse 13. Separate thyself from thy enemies and take heed of thy friends. You see what I'm saying? That's coming from the Apocrypha King James. Yep. Hold on. The Apocrypha King James. Now, people will tell you that God wants us to love everybody, right? But the Bible says separate yourself from your enemies. So we are doing the things, exact things of what the heathens are doing. You see? And so we gotta come from the ways of him and keep his commandments. Yeah. So I think I'm gonna stop it right here. Let's see, 1 minute and 2 seconds and four. Okay, that's what it says, you know. Yes, indeed, man. So I've been live for a little over an hour, man. Something. I've been live for an hour and 3 minutes and 4 seconds, 5 seconds, 6 seconds, man. So I've been live for a minute, man. Yeah, man. The sun done set, man. So I think this is the Sabbath, man. Can't be buying and selling, man. So go home and use what I got, man. Yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and get up out of here, and I'm gonna see y'all later here.